Have you ever questioned whether a mortal artist could truly capture the divine essence of a dream without sacrificing the structural integrity of reality? This profound inquiry lies at the very heart of Maurice Ravel's most expansive and technically demanding orchestral masterpiece. We stand today at the crossroads of history, looking back at a time when the boundaries of music were being rewritten with every stroke of a pen. This is a story of immense ambition, of a man who sought nothing less than total artistic perfection in a world of chaos. For the next 20 minutes, we will embark on a rigorous journey through the layers of time, uncovering the thousands of hours and the 200 revisions that birthed this legend. Let us step into the shimmering world of Daphnis and Chloé, a place where the ancient past and the modern future collide in a spectacular fresco of sound. This is a quest for the impossible, a dream captured in scores that have defied the limits of human performance for over a century. Prepare yourself for an academic exploration into the soul of a genius and the masterpiece that nearly broke him. Good day from the heart of Paris. We are standing where the air was once thick with the anticipation of a musical revolution that would forever alter the landscape of modern sound. It was here that the world first encountered the shimmering colors of a work that pushed the boundaries of the ballets russes to their absolute limit. Today, we begin our grand documentary exploration of Maurice Ravel's Daphnis et Chloé. Today, we embark on a monumental exploration of Daphnis et Chloé, a choreographic symphony that required 3 long years of meticulous labor and spiritual endurance to finally reach the public stage. This production involved the most brilliant artistic minds of the 20th century working under intense pressure. The narrative foundation of this masterpiece is rooted in the 2nd century Romance by the Greek writer Longus. This ancient tale tells the story of 2 foundlings, Daphnis and Chloé, who grow up as shepherds on the sacred island of Lesbos. Ravel was commissioned in April 1909 by Sergei Diaghilev for a sum of 3,000 francs, a significant investment in the early 20th century. The composer immersed himself in the archaeological accuracy of the pastoral setting, studying ancient texts to find the perfect musical equivalent for every nymph and grove mentioned in the original manuscript. This period of research was not merely a preparation, it was a total immersion into a world of idealized beauty. Ravel's goal was to modernize this ancient legend while preserving its timeless quality, a task that required an unprecedented level of scholarly dedication. The result was a symphonic structure that honored its ancient roots while speaking a language of pure modern innovation. Every measure of the score is a testament to the 4 leitmotifs that anchor the story's emotional architecture. We see here the beginning of a 3-year labor that would redefine the very concept of a choreographic symphony. The world of 1909 was ready for a change, and Diaghilev knew that only Ravel could deliver such a vast musical landscape with such technical precision. The creative process was severely hampered by a fundamental aesthetic divide between Ravel and the choreographer Michel Fokine that lasted for over 36 months. Fokine envisioned a primitive and archaic version of Greece, inspired by the rigid and angular figures found on ancient pottery from the 5th century before the Common Era. Ravel, however, was enchanted by an idealized and pastoral Greece, one that resembled the soft-focus French paintings of the 18th century. This ideological clash led to agonizing delays and constant revisions to the scenario, totaling over 200 changes before a single note was performed. Sergei Diaghilev often expressed his immense frustration as the premiere date was repeatedly postponed throughout 1910 and 11, costing the company thousands of francs in wasted resources. The tension nearly shattered the production, with Diaghilev threatening to cancel the entire project on several occasions due to the financial and creative strain. Ravel remained unmoved by these pressures, insisting on a level of perfection that seemed impossible to his collaborators. This period of intense conflict ironically fueled the creative fire that made the final work so unique in its blend of ancient themes and modern techniques. Every revision was a step toward a higher truth, a refinement of the musical language that would eventually captivate the world. The 36 months of struggle were the crucible in which this masterpiece was forged, a testament to the unwavering spirit of an artist who refused to compromise his vision for the sake of convenience or administrative demands. The historical documents from this era reveal a fascinating battle of wills that defined the future of modern ballet and symphonic composition. Ravel's technical requirements for this work were unprecedented in their scale and complexity. Requiring an orchestra of over 90 musicians, he demanded specialized instruments like the alto flute and a 14-piece percussion section that included a mechanical wind machine to simulate the roaring pirates' camp. A unique and haunting feature of the score is the inclusion of a 4-part mixed chorus that sings entirely without words, functioning as a human instrument of pure texture. The orchestration is so dense that it requires incredible precision from every single performer, with polyrhythms and unconventional harmonies that push the boundaries of what was considered performable. Every measure of the 2,556 total bars is a calculated triumph of sound. The 4 core leitmotifs serve as the architectural pillars of the entire symphony, ensuring a level of homogeneity that is rarely achieved in such an expansive production. This technical depth is why the work remains a cornerstone of the orchestral repertoire today, a masterclass in the science of sound and the art of symphonic structure. The musicians of 1912 faced a terrifying challenge, having to master rhythms and textures that had never before been attempted in a choreographic setting. The score reveals Ravel's obsession with clarity, even within the most complex orchestral passages, a feat that requires a conductor of immense skill to manage. We examine here the specific frequency balances and the instrumental pairings that Ravel used to create his signature glittering effect. Every instrument is chosen for its unique timbre, contributing to a vast musical fresco that spans 40 minutes of continuous sound. On the night of June 8, 1912, the curtain finally rose at the Théâtre du Châtelet for a gathering of the Parisian elite. However, the success of the premiere was partially eclipsed by the massive scandal surrounding Claude Debussy's Afternoon of a Faun, which had premiered just 10 days earlier on the same stage. Nijinsky's provocative choreography for Debussy had polarized the Parisian public, leaving the critics exhausted and divided by the time Ravel's work arrived. Despite the immense virtuosity displayed by Nijinsky and Karsavina, the administrative and creative friction behind the scenes had taken its toll on the company's morale. The dancers themselves struggled with the complex 5/4 meter of the final bacchanale. The premiere also faced technical difficulties with the stage lighting, which failed to properly capture Bach's shimmering colors, further adding to the evening's complications. Yet the audience could not deny the sheer power of the music, which left a lasting impression on the Parisian avant-garde and secured Ravel's position as a leader of modern French music. The premiere also highlighted the strain between Ravel and Diaghilev, which would later lead to a permanent break in their professional relationship. This investigation into the premiere reveals the fragile balance between artistic achievement and administrative reality. The history of 1912 is incomplete without understanding the complex web of relationships and rivalries that shaped the debut of this masterpiece. Every critic's review from that era adds a layer of understanding to the pallid success that Ravel initially experienced. The work reaches its spiritual and technical climax in the final tableau, beginning with the legendary sunrise, or lever du jour. Ravel achieved this miraculous shimmering light by instructing the string players to remove their mutes one by one, creating a gradual and overwhelming wall of orchestral brightness that mimics the rising sun over the hills of Lesbos. This is followed by the pantomime, where the solo flute represents the reed pipe of Pan in a passage of extraordinary virtuosity that remains a standard for flute players worldwide. The entire work culminates in the Danse Générale, an orgiastic and relentless bacchanal set in a complex 5/4 time signature. The technical execution of this final movement requires a level of coordination and power that is rarely seen in any other orchestral work. The shimmering climax involves every single instrument in the orchestra, creating a wall of sound that is both overwhelming and perfectly balanced. It is the glorious conclusion to a 3-year odyssey of creative struggle and technical triumph, a moment where the ancient past and the modern future merge into a single, breathtaking experience of pure art. This is the moment Ravel worked 3 years to achieve, the final realization of his dream. We conclude our deep dive with a rigorous examination of the numerical and historical evidence that supports the greatness of this work. From the 2,556 individual measures of music to the archaeological accuracy of the pastoral settings, every detail has been verified through rigorous study. The 4 core leitmotifs serve as the architectural pillars of the entire symphony, ensuring a level of homogeneity that is rarely achieved in such an expansive production. This evidence confirms that Maurice Ravel did not merely compose a ballet, he constructed a monument to human creativity and technical precision that will endure for centuries to come. The legacy of this choreographic symphony continues to inspire and challenge musicians across the globe. Maurice Ravel's Daphnis et Chloé stands as a monument to the power of artistic vision and the beauty of perfection. It has been a privilege to share this monumental history with you today. May this shimmering music bring peace and inspiration to your life. Thank you for your dedicated attention to this journey through time. 구독과 좋아요를 눌러주세요. 감사합니다.